Hi, it's Adam from BBD Boom. And in this video, I want to talk about assembling the right team for your CRM implementation. So obviously, BBD Boom as a HubSpot Elite partner do a lot of CRM implementation for clients with HubSpot. And when I say CRM implementation, I don't solely mean for CRM for sales teams. I also mean marketing automation, service tools that HubSpot provide. If I just call those CRM implementations. And it's a big undertaking to get it right. Okay, we see far too often that people don't invest enough time or budget in getting the implementation right. And part of that is not assembling the right team of people internally and externally to get that implementation correct. Because it's a team effort. There's lots of different people using the CRM, and we need to make sure all of their voices are heard and understood. But we also need to make sure we have leadership that's driving the process as well to get the results that everybody wants. So let's go through the key roles. The first one is the executive sponsor. We need somebody who's really responsible for building the business case for the implementation and helping to facilitate the budget, the resources, and everything else to make this a success. Now, if it's a case of a pure sales CRM, then I would say that needs to be the sales director. And often I think the sales directors, because they're busy closing deals or overseeing teams closing deals, they don't necessarily spend enough time on it. And it's really, really important that they influence the information gathering and the adoption and everything else in between in terms of getting that right for the business. You need a project manager. You need a project manager internally who's got the time and the project management skills to help orchestrate all of this, because as we'll see, there are lots of different stakeholders, and it's really important that they are able to manage the requirements gathering, manage the commercial relationships with any external partners, bring together stakeholders for the right discovery, and then timeline it for the business so there's minimum disruption and interruption for that process. I think the third one then is implementation partners. So I would obviously say as a HubSpot Elite partner that you'd be mad to try and implement HubSpot on your own. I think there's many, many reasons why you do that. We've got the expertise, we've got the skills, we've got the people, we've got the knowledge, we've got the know-how, we've got the project management ability, etc. And we're just going to help you shortcut that. But I think the other thing is that we help drive the process and we drive the requirements really, really effectively, because I think having an external partner to show best practice and to challenge the thinking internally can be really, really powerful for getting that implementation right. The other group then is other departmental leaders or other representatives of different teams. So thinking about some of the projects that we do, if we are working on a CRM that's with HubSpot at the center and then marketing and service, clearly we want to make sure we have representation from the marketing team. And we want to make sure we have representation from the customer service team. But even if it's a CRM, we want to make sure for sales teams, we want to make sure we have representation from all of the end users, somebody that represents the end users, maybe the BDR team, maybe the sales managers, maybe the account managers and people responsible for growing accounts. So we get all of those opinions and requirements captured. IT teams or users or representatives are really important as part of this process. Even though HubSpot is a very easy to implement tool in terms of IT infrastructure, obviously it's a standalone SaaS product. If there are no complex integrations, there's very little that an IT department needs to do to manage HubSpot. However, they do need to have oversight of the project. They need to think about any integrations that are required. They need to make sure that cybersecurity and security protocols are applied to HubSpot and other CRMs. So making sure the IT team has representation in this implementation team is important. And finally, I'd say pilot users. So for some of our bigger projects, we will really recommend proof of concepts or minimum viable products. And that is where you bring in the deployment to a small team, a single department, a sub-team, and really make sure that we are testing and learning before we roll out to the wider team. So getting some identified pilot users into the process early on is another really good idea. So remember, a CRM implementation is not a one-size-fits-all approach. We need to get the right people involved. We need to gather the requirements. We need to listen to them. We need project management in terms of the implementation of HubSpot. And we need to drive adoption by having the right people, understanding how it's going to help drive the business forward. So obviously, if you're considering using HubSpot for your business, please get in contact with me or anybody else at BBD Boom, and we can advise on what's required for implementation your side. And we can also advise about the services and the support what we can bring to make sure your CRM implementation is a fantastic success.